All right, guys, I'm here with Mike again.
Howdy.
You might recognize him. He's the one who made me those amazing knives. And for those of you that reached out and got a knife from Mike, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
But yeah, that is really special, and it was important to me to pay Mike back for those knives, and by you guys getting a couple, I can't thank you enough. Actually, Mike made me a fillet knife. Will you show him that? Gorgeous. Just incredible.
Always got to show the balance.
What would a fillet knife be without a fish to fillet? Mike had another present for me. Wait until you see this. You've got to be kidding me. Now, where did you catch this?
This was caught out in Greenport.
And Greenport is the North Fork of Long Island. Long Island's actually shaped like a fish, and the top tail is the North Fork, and Greenport's a town there. And Mike was out porgy fishing, got a striper, and instead of keeping the striper, he's giving it to me. So we're gonna do something special. But thank you.
Absolutely, we got to do something good with it. You know what I mean?
Thank you so
All right,
much.
very cool.
Yeah, unbelievable. We're gonna put that knife to good use in about 20 minutes now when I get back home. So to make my life easier, I gilled the fish, gutted it, and scaled it. Just want to make sure we're sitting on those rib bones, because then we can ride them all the way up. Now I'm gonna go up and over the ribs instead of trying to cut through them. So we're just gonna go up and over, ride them down just like this, because I'm gonna make a stock. So I don't really mind missing that the belly meat. There you go. You could do this with a serrated knife as well, but so there you go. Nice rib piece. Yeah, we're gonna reserve this because we're gonna make our stock with it and the collars, which we'll take that off in a second. And I like to keep the skin on striper. It's amazing. If you crisp that up, it's unbelievable. So we are going to keep the skin on. So every fish is a little bit different, but hopefully you can see it. There's this little hinge right here. And like I said, each fish just a little bit different, just to make it frustrating. But you get underneath it like that, like I just did. There you go. Now it's detached. So you can cut here, then cut down. And I like, for that last little piece, snip it with a scissor. There you go. There's your collar. So again, under that hinge, just like that. Come back the other way. And just come in and cut through. There you go. So the head, these rib pieces, and our collars here are what are going to flavor and make our Arroz Caldo. I will explain what that is in a moment. Okay, we're gonna make our fish stock. So I have the collars here. It's going in the pot. Another collar. My ribs. The head with the gills out. Going into the pot. And another rib. And then I have here one sad carrot. It was in the drawer, so it's going in. One full onion. We're just gonna take the roots off. We're gonna leave the skin on. And we'll quarter that. One head of garlic that actually has the roots taken off already. And the only reason I take the roots off, I've said it a few times, dirt can hide out in there and you'll get grit in your stock. Just take the roots off for the same reason. But whole thing is going in. And we have here a big old head of bulb of ginger. So this we're just gonna bruise up. That's going in. And then a whole bunch of cilantro. I have an abundance of this as well, so it's going in our stock. So now with this, I'm gonna start it on the heat and just kind of let everything get just a little bit warm. And then we're gonna add in a tiny amount of salt and our water to cover. And then we're gonna let this cook for at least 2.5 to 3 hours. So Arroz Caldo translates to, I think, like broth rice, warm rice. It's a rice porridge. It's a Filipino dish that is a take on, if you've ever had Chinese congee. It's a rice porridge. So it's in between a soup, and it's just, you know, a little dreary out today. We got a little bit of sun coming in that way, but a little gray, a little rainy, so perfect day just for some warm comfort food. So we're gonna let that stock go, pick out all of the meat out of the head and the collars, put that aside. Then we'll make our rice porridge, add that back in, and sear a nice piece of striper to put on top. And one of the things that we'll do is periodically skim the scuzz. Now all that is protein. It's nothing bad, nothing harmful. But if you skim it, it'll give you a clear, more attractive looking broth. So as we're simmering away here, I pulled out the collars and the ribs and the head and picked all the meat there. And I did this because I didn't want it to overcook and become stringy. It's still very juicy. Okay, we got a white onion and a little bit of ginger. We are going to chop these up and then saute them, and that will be the base of our rice porridge. So one of the easiest ways to get the skin off of ginger is with a spoon, just like that. So another thing I want to point out is that you should always, with your ginger, before you use it, you should soak it, because they put an anti-growth chemical on it so that it doesn't grow in the supermarket while it's sitting there. And you don't want to ingest that, so a good soak of your ginger will get that off. We're gonna add about 1.5 cups of rice, just jasmine white rice. There is different rice to use for this, but this is what we have. This is what we're using. Okay, now I'm gonna add a little bit of 3 Crabs fish sauce. Now we're going to add in our stock. That was about 1.5 cups of rice, and we're going to put in probably about 8 cups of our stock. We're going to bring this up to a boil, then down to a simmer, and cook it for about a half an hour until that rice is nice and overcooked. It goes against everything, like muscle memory as far as cooking rice, but you're gonna cook it until it is cooked to oblivion and becomes very creamy and soft. Now I have stock reserved so that when that rice cooks, if we need to add a little more liquid, we're good to go. Probably 30 minutes. So I did these for 5 minutes. I did them for 5 minutes, but they were room temp, so I think those yolks are going to be a little more cooked than I want. But that's okay. We'll find out right now. Oh no, those are perfect. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Beautiful. One of the ways I'm going to get my fish ready, I'm going to put each piece, also look how gorgeous that is, my god. But I'm going to put each piece on a paper towel. I want that skin really dry. So I had them on a paper towel, moving them to another paper towel. And we're going to try to get all the moisture out of that skin so that we can get it nice and crispy in the pan. And I mean, this is the sign. So these are tail pieces where there is a lot of bloodline, but there's hardly any for a striped bass. There's hardly any on this because Mike bled that. And I think you noticed when I was cleaning it, there was hardly any blood either. We're getting there. We're getting close. But yeah, you definitely want it porridge-like. So this has a little ways to go. That rice still has to absorb a lot of that liquid. But we've only been at it for about 15 minutes, so we're about halfway there. It's almost like cooking a risotto. You want to find that perfect texture. Not quite a soup, not quite a risotto, somewhere right in between. Okay, so this is very, very close to where we want it. So now we're gonna sear off our striped bass. And right before I take this off, don't forget, we reserved all that rib and collar and head meat, so we're gonna throw some of that in there as well, but at the last minute because we don't want that to overcook. But this is very, very close. Okay, I want to show you something on a stainless steel pan. If you heat the pan up and put the water on, the water dances like this. This pan is now non-stick. And the reason why is because there's a very interesting effect. I forget the scientific name for it, but there's a layer of steam happening underneath. And it ensures that nothing will stick to the pan. I'm going to gently push that down. We're not mashing the fish, we're just making sure that that middle is in contact with the pan. Season our fish. Just a little bit of salt and a little bit of cracked pepper. So now as that's cooking periodically, I'll come in and give a little press just to make sure that we're fully in contact with the pan. Okay, so these are cooked almost halfway through. So right now I'm going to turn the heat off of my pan. And we'll give that a flip. Oh, I got my skin a little bit janked up there. That's okay. Okay, I'm going to remove that from the hot spot. And now we're going to get everything ready over here, and that'll be cooked through perfectly when we're ready. Beautiful, perfect. Now we put in our reserved meat. I might not put in all of it just because we have those fillets going on top. That should be good. I have here some chili oil, not too much, we'll just put that around. That is it. That is our Arroz Caldo with striped bass. I am very excited right now. All right, guys, you know Mama Clams.
Hi there.
And my sister Jen visiting. So, all right, it is Arroz Caldo, which is a Filipino dish normally done with chicken. But it's a rice porridge.
It smells delicious.
So you didn't squeeze your lime in. Amateur. Amateur.
Where are we going to put it?
I'm doing a before and after.
Do you want to get a close-up of that?
I already got close-ups.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
all right.
All right.
All right, Martin Scorsese, don't worry. You're not directing this film.
Martin Score Tasty.
Guys, you have a napkin,
Oh, very good.
napkins.
The rice is lovely. I like that there's an egg waiting for me in here.
All right. guess, reactions. Especially on this rainy day. I mean, it's not exactly cold out. It's pretty humid, and definitely cooking this for a
Fish
while.
is melting in my mouth.
The fish is all right.
It's
The
delicious.
fish is awesome. Yeah.
Oh,
Good.
absolutely
No,
delicious.
this is a perfect, like, comforty, but it's light. The fish makes it very light.
And then the only real salt in there, well, we put a little bit in the stock, but the real salt came from that little bit of fish sauce. Hang on, I'm gonna take a bite here. The rain is pouring. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Oh my god, that's good. It's
Ooh.
kind of like a risotto.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's rice porridge. It's in between risotto and a soup. It's like a.
Sensing a little hotness.
That's
that?
the chili oil.
And the
Okay,
cilantro
but
is really nice too.
It's nice. It's not overpowering.
No, just a little bit
Doesn't
of chili
take
oil.
away, yeah, from the flavor
Wow.
of anything. Delicious though.
All right, bite a striper. Ooh.
Way good.
So the pieces that I pulled off the collar and off the head that are in the rice, obviously they cooked in the water. They're different texture, but the pieces that I seared, holy smokes, it's good.
Yeah, it's way good.
And I will say this was worth waiting 3 hours for.
3 hours? That's an exaggeration. I've been cooking for only 2 hours, 45 minutes. It's a lie. But all right, we're gonna enjoy our dinner. Sorry to make you wait.
Delicious.
That's also a trick. You make people wait, and then you could serve them a boiled shoe, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, it's delicious." But all right, before my fish gets overcooked in my rice, I'm gonna eat. Thank you so much, Mike, for the new fillet knives. They are amazing. Thank you for the fish. I mean, this is unreal. I can't thank you enough, Mike. And you guys, check them out. Pretty soon I'm going to have my website up. It might be up by the time this video goes up, but I'll have Mike's information. You can find him on Instagram. I'll put the link underneath. A couple of you have bought knives from him, and that does mean a lot to me that you did that, and it means a lot to Mike. So thank you so much. All right, I'm going to enjoy my dinner, and I will see you on the next one.
This is awesome.